In a world that is just jam-packed with productivity apps and life hacks, you might be wondering, what can a book from 1910 possibly teach us about managing our time? Well, as it turns out, a whole lot. Today, we're going to dive into Arnold Bennett's How to Live on 24 Hours a Day because its core message is frankly more radical and urgent now than it was over a century ago. So Bennett kicks things off with this profound and kind of brutal truth. You're not going to get any more time, ever. You can't find it, you can't earn it, the supply is absolutely fixed. We all get the same 24 hours every single day, no exceptions, no rollovers. And that, of course, leads to the big question, doesn't it? If we all have the exact same amount, why do we constantly feel like we're running on empty? Why is our relationship with time just filled with this low-grade anxiety, this feeling that the clock is always winning? Bennett calls this the 24-hour paradox. You think about it, we obsess over our money, right? We track every penny. But our most valuable, completely non-renewable asset, our daily allotment of time, we just kind of let it slip through our fingers. Let's dig into why that happens. And he has this amazing metaphor for it. Every single morning, you wake up and your purse is, as he puts it, magically filled with 24 hours. He calls it the unmanufactured tissue of the universe. It's this fresh supply, this raw material for life, handed to you free and clear, no matter how badly you might have spent yesterday's supply. And here's the key difference. Unlike money, you can't put time in a savings account for a rainy day. You can't borrow a few hours from tomorrow to finish something today. You only get to spend it in the present moment. That's what makes it so incredibly precious and why managing it well is so urgent. So if we all get this daily miracle, where do we go so wrong? Well, Bennett argues the real problem isn't a lack of time. It's a huge mistake in how we see our day. We're completely missing what he calls our day within a day. Here's the trap we all fall into. We treat our 8-hour workday as the day, the main event. And that means the other 16 hours, that's 2/3 of our entire life, gets demoted to just a prologue and epilogue. It's just the leftover bits and pieces around the real day. So Bennett's solution is to just flip the script. It's a total mental shift. What if you started treating those 16 hours outside of your 9 to 5, say from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m., as your actual day? This is the time when you're really free. This is the time to actually live. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Great, another massive, life-altering system I'm going to fail at in a week. But that's the beauty of Bennett's plan. It's not a huge revolution. It's incredibly modest, totally achievable. It all starts with just 90 minutes. Okay, you ready for the big, complicated plan? It's just 7.5 hours a week. That's it. We're talking 90 minutes, 3 evenings a week set aside for you, for your own growth. And on top of that, you reclaim your commute. Instead of scrolling, you use it for focused thought. It is such a small investment for what could be a massive return in your quality of life. I love this quote because Bennett totally gets how hard this is in practice. He's joking, but not really. It sounds weird to tell a friend, sorry, can't hang out, I'm working on my immortal soul. It's way easier to say you have a tennis match. We prioritize these concrete, social things over the deep, personal work. And just knowing that is half the battle. Okay, so carving out the time is one thing, but what do you actually do with it? You can't just stare at the wall. Bennett says the first, most important project is to get control of your own mind. And for that, he gives us 2 key exercises. First up is concentration. This is your new morning commute activity. Just pick a subject, anything at all, and hold your mind to it for a set period. Now, your mind is definitely going to wander. That's a guarantee. Your job is to just gently, firmly bring it back. Again and again and again. It's like a bicep curl for your brain. The act of refocusing is what builds the muscle. And then for the ride home, this second exercise, reflection. This is basically your daily board meeting with yourself, a chance to honestly ask, how am I doing? Are my actions today lining up with the person I want to be? It's about making sure that you are the one steering your life, not just drifting along. So what about those 90-minute evening blocks? This is the fun part. The only rule is to follow your genuine curiosity. Dive into that history book you've been meaning to read. Finally learn about classical music or architecture. Or you could even just decide to deeply study the cause and effect in your own profession, turning your job from a chore into a subject of fascinating study. Look, starting any new habit is tough, Bennett knew that. So, very wisely, he left us with a few warnings, some crucial dangers on the path that we need to watch out for if we're going to make this stick. Danger number 1, don't become a preg. You know the type, the person who starts a new routine and suddenly looks down on everyone else for wasting their time. This whole project is for you, for your own fulfillment. It's not a license to judge anybody else. Danger number 2, don't become a slave to your program. This schedule is a tool, not a tyrant. It's meant to serve you, not the other way around. Life happens. The program has to be flexible, otherwise it'll just break. And finally, this one is huge. Avoid what he calls the policy of rush. The goal is not to cram every free second with more stuff and create a new kind of stress. If you start to feel hurried or frantic, that's a sign to pull back. The only cure is to attempt less. And that leads us to what might be the single most important piece of advice in the whole book. Don't go for some glorious all-or-nothing transformation that's doomed to fail. Instead, aim for a small, petty success. Just master those 7.5 hours a week. That small win, that's what builds the self-respect and the momentum for all the bigger things that come later. So there you have it. The clock has reset. A new day is here. Your purse has been magically filled with a fresh 24 hours. The only question left is, how are you truly going to live them?